Welcome to Toffee TV. I'm joined by Tom in the studio, also known as T-Logic on Twitter. Is that all it is? At T-Logic?
At T-Logic 1991.
There you go. Make sure you give him a follow. Good Evertonian. Does some scouting as well and analytics and all. I love it.
Yeah.
Love all this. Piv Light, I called you. Someone that said, who's in today? I went, Piv Light today.
Yeah.
But,
well,
no.
he's like the Jedi.
Is he?
I'm his Padawan.
But welcome, mate.
Yeah,
welcome.
thanks for having me.
Thought we'd just have a chat about Dominic Calvert-Lewin, because why not? Flying top scorer in the Premier League, well, one of them. And just whether he's underrated, really. And I keep seeing this thing of some people saying he's championship level and whatever. And this isn't just because he started the season with 4 goals. He's had a great start to the season, but I'm just talking of his overall progression. I think probably since Duncan Ferguson took over in December, I think Dom's gone up another level. In fact, he only had 4 goals till December last season, until Duncan took over, and then obviously he finished with 15, and he started this season brilliantly. So, I mean, what's your take when people say he's a championship level striker?
Yeah, I think that's a silly comment to make, really. I mean, when you look at him before Duncan took over with Silva, and even with Koeman, when we were speaking before about him, he was getting played out of position. He was getting played in the right, played right wing back at one point, didn't he, against Stoke. So, I mean, I think it's nonsense. I think, he scored 13 goals last year. I mean, what championship striker would do that now? I mean, Ollie Watkins, but he's going to prove himself well. So, I think it's a bit of a silly statement, really. I mean, you look at his stats and look at him, the way he's actually progressed. I mean, he was only 22, 23. So I think from when Duncan Ferguson, he's took a massive step forward, and I think that he could only get better. I think his attitude, the way he looks at football and the way he talks in his interviews, I think he's got that mentality where he wants to be at the top. Yeah. So
I think, and one of the things you know, obviously, listen, Duncan took him under his wing and said, "You me man, and do this and do that," and he gave up that performance against Chelsea, which was outstanding and all that. And then obviously Carlo Ancelotti came in, which, fantastic. And one of the early things Ancelotti said was, I think it was after the Newcastle game where we won 2, he got both of them, he won up there. He said, I've told him to stay in the middle because he'll score goals. Because I think a criticism I had of him was he was standing in the wrong areas. He was never going to get the goals we needed him to get. Yeah,
well, even as a kid, he was centre mid, wasn't he? So he's never really had that natural instinct of doing it. But just talking on that game against Newcastle, it went out wide. I'm not too sure who it went out wide to. Was it Coleman or someone? And he made this dart and run where I thought that was
Richarlison.
Was it Richarlison? Was it? If you go back and watch the camera, the way he run, he done like a little jink and run, took him there, and went left, back post. Yeah. Just like that was that. No, listen, championship is not going to do that. I mean, that's elite level. Little people don't really see that as a normal fan, but as analysing it and as looking at players like that, I thought that was fantastic the way he done it. And that was my criticism. I always thought he never had that sort of knack of wanting a goal, but now I feel like he's come back from obviously last season, and he just wants to be a goal scorer. He just loves it. He just thrives off it now, I think.
Well, there was a time when, and I think he said this himself on a couple of occasions, whereas he never used to think about scoring, he just wanted to play all right. Now he gets a cob on if he doesn't score a goal, and I think that's a great mentality shift for him, because it is that you've got to have that desire, and that's why the goal against West Brom at the weekend, my favourite goal out of all of us was the fourth. Well, obviously the fourth goal was the pass by James, the rainbow pass was incredible, but that making sure that he was turning that Richarlison thing over the line. Now at the time, seeing it live, I thought, the way he's nicked this goal, and it's right, because that's what you need him to do, but when you look at it again, it was actually going wide.
I thought that.
He's turned it in. But my favourite goal last season, I've said this before, was the one against City at home, when he robs Coleman's thing, because that's what you want your centre forwards doing, isn't it?
100%. That's what any club wants. I mean, if he leaves that, then you look at him and you question, he doesn't really want a goal, does he? Is he just happy for his mate to get one? I mean, no, the strikers who are in the Prem, like we've had Lukaku in the past, you know, he tried to nick Davies'
goal against
Do you know what I
City,
mean? And
yeah,
that's what you want. I mean, that put Davies on the map, but Lukaku wanted it. That's what you want from a striker. I mean, you're talking about other strikers in the league. I mean, Harry Kane, you've got Aguero, you've got the one over the road.
Yeah.
See, but I think Tom's got more of a desire to score than what Firmino was. When you put it down, when you look at it, I mean, the only issue really I have with Tom is his overall play and bringing other people into situations. That's where I think he needs to start developing now. I mean, this year, obviously, it's just to get goals. But then, as he goes on and on, I think he needs to make more of a career of himself and to stay in the Premier. I think he's got to sort of start becoming more of like creative, where you've seen Harry Kane on the weekend. I mean, you know,
a couple of his passes were incredible.
I know. So that's what I think I want Dom to do.
What are you talking about then if we're breaking it down? Because obviously his back to goal play's quite good, isn't it? We were talking off camera before. Sometimes it's the way he receives the ball with his feet, he invites a tackle and maybe he could protect the ball a little bit better. But are you talking about his actual individual play in terms of creating goals as well?
Yeah, I think it's both. I think, look, when he scores 3, it's hard to break him down and start criticising him. But when you do see him in open play and he is receiving the ball, he is very square. So when you're square, you can come from left, right, and you're not protecting the ball. And the way he does hold the ball up, he sort of uses his inside foot where he's going that way, or it's just open for defenders. You want him to be more sideways, kind of, where you
keep
can
the distance.
Just to keep him off.
Yeah.
And he does that sometimes, but I think a lot of times he can improve more so with his feet. I think he's very good with his chest, head, but that's all fine. I think more so with his feet he's got to improve if he wants to go to like Haaland level. You look at Haaland and he's, you know, obviously people develop in age-wise differently, but I think with Calvert-Lewin, I think if he just starts progressing or better in that sense, and where his one-on-one ability is, then I think he will have a very good career in the Premier League.
Yeah, I think I kind of agree with that in terms of the way he takes the ball, in terms of if he's running at people. At times he looks really comfortable running with it, and you're like, go on, you know, do it a bit more, and then other times it'll get stuck under his feet. So maybe it's a bit of decision making 1v1 really. And I also would like him to hit through the ball a little bit more. He tries to bend a lot of his shots, where I'd like him to. This is just me watching him, you know, I'm not trying to, he's a Premier League goal scorer, so I'm just saying, but just for me, sometimes I think if he can get it out of his feet a bit quicker, I think he'll get even more goals, because I love the fact that he's in the right areas. I loved Saturday, the fact all his goals were from about 7 yards out. That to me is perfect, and he's getting into those zones that I want him to be in.
I think even last year, you look at his 13 goals, they were all in the box, and I think half of them might have been in the 6-yard box. So you want that.
Yeah.
That's what we're saying. We're not saying, you know, he's terrible, he's rubbish, change him or anything because he can't hold the ball up. No, it's not. It's about just progressing for his own development. Because at the end of the day, you know, if he's 22. But a lot of people don't realise that he was a centre midfielder, so it weren't natural.
No.
It was never a natural position for him. So he is behind on the progression of his development in that position. But when maybe in 2 years' time, and he has sort of got the hang of being in the right place at the right time, then you can sort of go back and go, right, well, what can I do now? Can I bring in Richarlison? Can I find him? Can I find the right winger? Can I find, like, you know, as well, like, I mean, some instances where you see him, he's not aware of where, say for example, the goal against West Brom, Rodriguez played Richarlison, but you see him Richarlison, you're seeing him see it. I think with Dom, he doesn't see it necessarily sometimes.
But I mean, that could be right, but
you seen it against Tottenham as well, didn't you? The ball over.
No, we did. But there was one that Alan gave him and he wasn't expecting it. So I don't know whether that's poor from Dom or whether he's just
Listen,
he might be not used to.
You might be too critical. I might be too critical.
No, but because we're not. You're saying he is underrated. So you're not. I think what you're looking at is you're just saying if he does this and this, he could get to that level, and that's what we want.
He's got all the attributes to be the top striker in the Premier League. He has got it. It's just one-on-one. I mean, like I said to you before, there was 2 incidents and they mirrored each other exactly the same. A ball got played over down the wing and his athleticism is brilliant.
Yeah, fantastic.
Little touch away and then he's in then. But he sort of comes in, the ball gets caught under his feet and you go, just that alone will stop you.
Do you think he doesn't back himself enough? What I mean is, I don't mean in terms of dribbling, but I mean actually just pushing it past someone and running because he's quick, isn't he?
I mean, I don't know really, because I don't think you can see much of that on the pitch. I think when he's running down the wing, it's more the right side. I mean, maybe it might change if he was on the left, because he's right,
he can come back
but he's all right-footed, isn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, that's another thing. His left foot isn't very good at. But it might change if you're running down the wing on the left and cutting in. Might be better, but I think just things like that. I mean, he was against Tottenham. He out-muscled, I think it was Vertonghen, and he was in. And he just...
Alderweireld.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry,
yeah.
Sorry.
No,
Alderweireld,
looks similar. But,
Bells and defenders.
But he was in.
He was, yeah.
He was in, and it just got caught under his feet, and then he got to the edge of the box, and Richarlison was on the left-hand side, but he sort of done a step over and come onto his favoured right. Yeah. And I just think things like that, you've got to start using your left or just seeing what's going on.
It's just fine-tuning, isn't it? Because
he's
doing really bad.
He's 22.
Exactly, he's doing brilliant. I mean, if you look at his goals since he got in the first team, like first season under Koeman, he had 11 appearances, scored 1 goal against Hull.
Yeah.
Next season, 44 games in all competitions, 8 goals.
Yeah.
Gone up. Season later, 38 games, 8 goals, so the same overall. And then last season, 15 and 41. So his goals are climbing.
Well, he's developing, isn't he?
And he's developing. This season, obviously, he's got 4 and 2. So
what you want players like at his age, you want them to go on that way.
Yeah.
You want them just going that way. And yeah, he's got 8, then he's got 13. So what? Well, he's already got what? 4.
He's got 4 already.
4 already. So he's nearly there.
So he's doing, yeah.
It's just when, like we were saying last year. I mean, obviously the pandemic and all that obviously affects performance and things like that. But the last 10 games of the season, he didn't score. And you're watching him and you're thinking, well, what else are you bringing to the sides? What else can you do? Can you go do the leg work for the team? Can you create and do things and set Richarlison up or set someone up? Just be involved. I mean, he did go missing in some matches. But like we said, I mean, he had chances in them 10 games to score, didn't he?
Yeah,
You know
but
what
the flip side of that would be, I guess, the games are weird. They're playing every every 3 days. I think the one thing I would say about Dom is he always leaves everything on the pitch. I think he gives everything. He takes the charge. Him and Richarlison are incredible at taking the game to teams. Yeah. You're right, if they miss some... I mean, the Sheffield United that he should have buried. He hit the post with down there, and he had opportunities at Norwich. Liverpool, he had one, didn't he, at the far stick, he might have scored. Yeah. So, yeah, there's little things, but he's definitely moving in the right direction. And it just makes me laugh when people say he's championship level, because it's just like, well, I just don't know what people are expecting.
Like you said, you've played up front. Like, back in the day, I used to play up front.
Yeah,
like,
so you know,
whatever level you are, or whatever, you still should have the sort of capacity whether to think of. Maybe we're not. Maybe we're different. Who knows?
Who knows? Yeah.
But you still have that sort of intelligence of knowing, if you're at a decent level, intelligence of knowing where to go and what to do. And when you're watching these strikers, you look at them, you think it's there. It's just them little nuances that just need tweaking. And as he goes on, and he'll get there, because he's like I keep saying, he's got that attitude.
Yeah,
he's got the attitude to become an elite player. Yeah, he's just got it.
Definitely.
You can see the way he holds himself in a high esteem now, doesn't he? I think that's the one thing that I like about what Ancelotti's brought to him is his confidence. He feels like he belongs in the Premier League, and you can see that now. Yeah. You can see he just wants. He knows he's a Premier League player. So hopefully he gets 15 to 20 goals this year. Yeah. I mean, last year he got 13, and what were we creating? Who did we have who was creating?
No.
I mean, you've got Rodriguez now, you've got Decore, you've got Richarlison playing on the left. You know, there's going to be a lot of opportunities for him. So I think he's going one way, and it's the top, innit? Obviously, if he becomes international, then that's a different situation. And I mean, he should have got a call up against when it was Solanke, was it?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
But
I think he'll be in the next.
He should be on merit.
In the next thing on
if
merit.
you go, if you go back to see what Southgate was talking about, he was talking about merit, weren't he? So he deserves it. If he carries on and he gets to December and he's 10 goals in, how can you deny him?
Yeah.
You know, it's a bit silly if he doesn't get in there, but if he doesn't, it won't affect him.
No. He'll just keep going.
Yeah, he will. He'll just keep going.
There you go. Let us know what you think in the comments. Do you think he's underrated? Are you one of the people who don't think he's good enough for Everton? I mean, why don't you think he's good enough then? And who do you want to? Who have you seen who you think is better than him? Because, you know, he continues to play well and continues to put the ball in the net. So, for me, I think he's brilliant. I do. I think can he improve? 100%. Like Tom was saying, there's little things in his game that he can continue to improve on. It'll take him up another level. But for me, I think we're lucky to have him, to be honest with you, because he's at a great age and he's hungry, like you said. Just
put it this way: if he got injured, what would happen?
Because Moyes Keane, who a lot of people bang on for, hasn't really done it, has he?
Well, yeah, he's developing though. He's behind Tom, and he's you know. But if Tom got seriously injured and missed 10, 20 games,
we haven't got anything.
Well, where at Everton going? Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like with things like that, you've got to be careful what you wish for, really, because when he does, I mean, if he does get injured, I think that'll be more so benefit to him, because I think more fans will go, well, you know.
Yeah,
well,
United have been linked with him over the last day or so. Let us know what you think in the comment section below. Big thanks to Tom. Give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. And if you want more videos, join us on Patreon. And don't forget, give Tom a follow on Twitter @TLogic1991. Thanks for watching. See you later.